Hello, everyone. Good morning. What was I doing? I hope we're having a good day. It's Tuesday. That week went by fast. Let me mute this. Wrong buttons. Why does it do all this? Never mind. Let it beep. Let it do its thing. So we're talking about overcoming. See, it was just talking about overcoming loneliness, but there were some other parts too that, well, you'll see. So, pretty decent day today. Pretty exciting day, actually. I have a guest coming on the podcast this morning that I just can't wait. I heard her talk for 5 minutes in an AA meeting, and that's all I needed. Fantastic speaker. Her name's Denise. She has long-term sobriety. She is extremely entertaining, and that's what I love about her. She's very entertaining and educates you at the same time. And that's a quality you don't find in many people. So when I find those kinds of guests, I definitely grab them for you guys. I'm also going over to Connects, meet with Terry today, and we're going to see if that's a good fit. So by the end of the day, if you are looking for a recovery coach, I will be available again, most likely. As a recovery coach, we'll be taking on probably 4 to 5 clients. Anyway, let's get to this. Let's start with the daily reflections. This is where I started this morning. Anyway, almost without exception, alcoholics are tortured by loneliness even before our drinking got bad and people began to cut us off. Nearly all of us suffered the feeling that we didn't quite belong, as Bill sees it, page 90. I do not have Bill sees it, so that kind of put me in a different direction. But I want to read this. I want to read this next part first. The agonies and the void that I felt inside occur less and less frequently in my life today. I've learned to cope with solitude. It is only when I am alone and calm that I'm able to communicate with God. For he cannot reach me when I'm in turmoil. It is good to maintain contact with God at all times, but it's absolutely essential when everything seems to go wrong. I maintain that contact through prayer and meditation. I'm going to let you know it's just as important to do it while you're happy. Okay? I know it sounds redundant, but it's not. You're going to thank me for that later, or you better thank God for it later, right? And so now I like this. Alcoholics are tortured by loneliness even before our drinking got bad. Okay, we separated ourselves one way or another, or we were picked on. I was the black sheep. And I've spent most of my life not feeling like I belong somewhere. Okay. But there's things that go with that, because I was reading, when I read that, I'm like, well, what about my anxiety? What about my depression? And then I opened up the Date of Time, ODAT. When I least expect it, my keen addictive mind will try to divert me back towards my old ideas and old ways. Okay. So when it comes to loneliness, anxiety, depression, PTSD, these kinds of things. Now, loneliness, we can tell loneliness. Now, loneliness, there's a couple different forms. There's one making sure you're not there, because I can't remember the word right now. So if somebody remembers it, please put it on there. Isolating, that was the word I was looking for. Loneliness and isolating are, okay, loneliness can lead to isolation, okay? But they're different. There are different forms of loneliness, guys. Sometimes we just feel alone. We want to be around somebody. Sometimes we feel a loneliness that we feel like nothing else can touch, right? So, and then there's anxiety. There's other things. So I just want to bring up a couple of things here real quick, and that has to do with self-diagnosis. Self-diagnosis is extremely dangerous. Do not do it. Okay. People will say, well, that's my OCD. You do not have OCD. Quit giving yourself that title. Okay. If you cannot walk through a doorway without tapping 3 times on the doorway, or your life's going to freaking end, you do not have OCD. Okay. Just because you like things lined up that the way that they're supposed to be does not mean you have OCD, guys. Okay. Do not diagnose yourself with anxiety, depression, PTSD. And I'll tell you why. If you're newer in the program, addiction looks just like those things. Okay. And you cannot get a diagnosis on some things like PTSD until you have been 6 months sober. Okay. So that's why a lot of times therapists are like, yeah, but I kind of prefer you went through the steps first. Because a lot of times that alleviates what's going on for a lot of people, and you don't really necessarily need therapy. Okay. Then there's people like me. Okay. Some of us do need that. Okay. I take certain meds. I take sertraline. Okay. I know some people are, oh, you shouldn't. You know what that does for me is the thing that sucks. And I don't necessarily like being on it, but when I'm not, or I'm just going to say when I'm on it, it makes me feel normal. It makes me feel like you guys do on a regular day. Okay. Because I went too far. I went too far. And now I have to take extra steps. If you guys don't want to take those extra steps, quit now. My mind is an expert, in fact, at planting and nourishing negative feelings within me and making it feel really nice and cozy, huh? Little sneaky little fuckers. Feelings such as envy. Oh, did something good happen to that person? I remember those days. I still get those little twinges, like, why them and not me? And then I get the answer from God, because that's why. Because I said so. Just like I tell my grandchildren. Well, why, Grandpa? Because that's what I said. Right? Same thing. Feelings such as envy, fear, anxiety, or guilt. The minute I spot any of these poisonous feelings rising up, I have to deal with them. Great line. All right. So what's the first step in our recovery? It's recognition, right? Recognition that we are drinking too much and that we shouldn't be drinking at all and that our lives have become unmanageable. We're powerless. All right. Same thing here. All right. So recognize it. Meet it. Greet it. Hey, buddy. Hey, anxiety. How you doing? Good to see you. Because then it has less power over me. Because now I've recognized it. So, even for me, and it doesn't happen every time. I wish it did. Well, no, I don't. I just wish I didn't have anxiety. But, but I will go through. Like, I'm going to have anxiety today going to meet at Connects. Okay, I already feel it. There's parts of me that are like, no, don't do it. Don't do it, Dion. Dion, you're going to be uncomfortable, dude. I am. I'm going to be uncomfortable. All right. So what? So what? I may be uncomfortable for a little bit, but I can gut check that, can I? Can I check to see where I'm at? See what's going on? What's happening with that, Dion? Well, I have this hard time with leaving the house and not knowing I'm coming home. I don't know. It's something, right? And I still haven't quite put a finger on it yet. But I know it's there, right? Is it so overwhelming that I can't do something about it? No, heck no. In fact, it's lost most of its power. How? Because I sat here and I just talked about it. I recognized it. Now I'm looking at it. Okay? So I'm going to let you know, first off, none of this, absolutely none of it will work if you're not honest with yourself. Okay? And you can be honest with yourself from day one. Okay? If you deal with this stuff, you've been to enough therapists to know what it is that I'm saying right now. So Do it, man. If not, the more I think about them, the stronger they'll get. The stronger they get, the more I think about them, to the point of obsession. Yeah, the obsession portion of it, right? When negative feelings arise, do I name them, claim them, and dump them? There we are. All right, name them. Anxiety. Claim it. I have anxiety going on. Dump it. I don't want it no more. Okay. Is it really that quick and easy? Gosh, I wish it was, guys. But it sometimes it is. Okay. It really depends on the level of anxiety, right? Like with this level of anxiety, yeah, I think I can dump that, let it go, so that I can focus on other things, right? So practice that, but you've got to be honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, you're not going to be able to recognize those things. Okay. All right. I should know, and may I never forget, that a sure way to let my feelings get the best of me is to pretend that they aren't there. Yes, we do not ignore them. Oh, I'm depressed. It'll go away. No. I'm depressed. I'm depressed. And you hear this. Sometimes you'll hear people, they'll say that a lot. I'm just depressed. Okay. That line in and of itself is just all jacked up. You put a negative connotation on it. It's just, now we've diminished what we're going through, right? That line right there is pure depression, right? So what do we do with that, man? We'll recognize it. Okay, yes, I am depressed, but I don't want to be here anymore. We can start our days over whenever the heck we want to, whenever we want to. That's the great thing about this program. Like spoiled offspring, they act up like when they are ignored. But also like offspring, they are here, they are mine, and I am responsible for them. May I learn to pay attention to my feelings. Even sometimes I would rather make believe they didn't belong to me. Today I'll remember, name them, claim them, and dump them. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that. So whenever I go to the doctor, my anxiety, it just pops up. I think it's because I've been to the doctor for my anxiety so much that my brain just kind of connects the two. Okay. And I will sweat. If I'm at a doctor's office, you doing okay? And I never want them to check my blood pressure because I know it's high. Why? Because I'm at the doctor's office, trapped in a little room so that you guys can corner me and tell me what to do and tell me quit smoking and all this other crap. All right. My last time anyway. Are you going to get a flu shot? No. I just want to. I'm older than you, little doctor. I haven't had a flu shot in 20 years. Probably more. All right? So suck it up. Speaking of which, I am quitting smoking. So what I'm saying is I can go into those situations with my anxiety and still treat people like they should be treated, just because I'm going through something. And that's the switch, guys. That's the dump portion. Okay. I recognize that I'm having anxiety. Okay. It's there. You know what, Doc? I'm having a lot of anxiety right now, but you're going to find I'm the funniest guy when I have anxiety. All right. I'll make fun of it with me so I can feel better about what's going on. And I make myself laugh. Gosh, that is hard to do, but it is so worth it. I try to talk myself through stuff, changing myself to talk positive. Yes. That's why I don't call myself names. That's why I don't put myself down. Okay. I never, ever, I used to, but I no longer get on myself for feeling anxiety or depression or any other feeling that comes across. I do not give myself a hard time about that anymore. Okay. I'm worth more than that. I'm worth the time that Carrie is talking about to sit down for 10 minutes and get my head on straight so I can have a good day. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay. And the moment that you ask God for help on it, he's going to help you. Okay. And I know that he's going to help you because he helped me. And I was, I'm not, you know what? And I think, man, the topic of rock bottoms has been bothering me lately. I think it's about time we talk about rock bottoms. I don't even like that say. I'm not even a fan of it because it it indicates that you have to hit something really bad, and that but maybe that is the case. At the same time, I've never met somebody that didn't get sober that didn't hit it hard. So, there we are talking through it again. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow for daily reflection. Got a podcast coming out this afternoon. Be out a little bit late, but it will be out. So have a great day, guys. I love y'all. Peace out and have a day. It's good to see you, Carrie. Have a good day, honey.